Now, I'm somebody who genuinely enjoys peace. I try not to, laugh at the pain of others, but I must admit that nothing really gets me excited or makes me smile the way I smile when CM Punk trolls AEW fans. Now, I am trying to hit 3,700 subs before the end of the week. I think I need about 89 more people to hit that subscribe button before the end of the week. Hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, I'm going to be under your bed. So I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to hit that subscribe button, man. Now, I'm telling you, I'm giving you that warning. If you deny hit that subscribe button, bro, I'm going to be seeing you pretty soon. You don't want to see it. It's going to get ugly. Now, CM Punk, if you don't know, it came out that CM Punk and Ace Steel has the same lawyer as Jim Cornette. And if you had to rank, or if you had to put in order, or if there was a AEW ops group, I think, Seth Rollins would be in there. Of course, Triple H would be in there. Vince McMahon, maybe Cody Rhodes would be in there at this point, but I definitely know who's leading that pack. If there, if there was a Survivor Series team, CM Punk would be the leader. A Steel would be like a manager, and so would Jim Cornette. But I find it hilarious. It's like the Avengers. It's like I don't know, maybe like Captain America Civil War or something like that. But I love to see it. I think it's funny, and I think one side is clearly chirping. You probably know which side I'm talking about. But yeah, it turned out that they all have the same lawyer, and I thought it was kind of like, are y'all really, this is kind of showing your hand a bit, because obviously if you watch any Jim Cornette coverage of the whole Elite versus CM Punk situation, it's clear what side Jim Cornette is on. And also, like, it seemed like he had details about stuff that most people didn't have, him and Brian Last. And when it turns out that these two guys have have the same lawyer as him, it's kind of showing your hand a little bit too much. Now, I'm not sure how NDAs work and stuff like that. I'm sure they're smarter than me. They've probably forgot more about legal stuff and how it works than I've ever known. So, I do think, like, who am I to tell them to be careful with it? But so Jim Cornette acknowledged it, and he spoke about it. And if you don't know, when Jim Cornette releases a video, he has someone usually do art, and he basically, instead of like me, I do gifs, but Jim Cornette in his videos, there's art that's basically describing what's going on. And I think it's a genius move, because when you look at it, it's like, okay, what is going on in this? Let me click on it. But this one was pretty smooth. It was like, I think they used a different artist with it, and it was basically CM Punk, Jim Cornette, Ace Steel, and Stephen P. New, they're a lawyer, in a courtroom. And CM Punk reposted it, and he said, hang it in the Louvre. And that angered AEW fans so damn much. And I loved it, man, because it really just shows the hypocrisy in it. They like, oh, Jim Cornette is this, Jim Cornette is that, he's such a bad person this, he's such a bad person that. But CM Punk for years has made it obvious that he's such a Jim Cornette fan. And they never had a problem with it until now. Their own owner of their favorite company is a self-admitted Jim Cornette fan. They like, do y'all know that if it was up to Tony Khan, CM Punk and Jim Cornette would have been on the first episode of AEW Dynamite? Like, y'all do know that, right? Like, you know that that's the original people he wanted in this company. And he, one person saw the forest from the trees, and it was like, nah, I'm good, which was Jim Cornette. CM Punk had to touch the stove to see how hot it was, and he got burnt by them. So, like, this was the first time he's kind of necessarily trolled, quote unquote, or not the second, because he did make that you can't go around punching people joke at SmackDown. And, I think I think this is less than anybody's done to him. Like, they've removed this man off the game cover. They've mocked him for botches. They've, acknowledged him multiple times in backstage segments, and et cetera, say his name literally. And, all he did was repost Jim Cornette's comic. I think y'all got to touch grass, like, literally. It's not that big of a deal. Move on with y'all lives. It's over. Y'all lost CM Punk. You fumbled. You fumbled him. and you may never recover from it, especially if you don't get Sasha Banks. If you don't get Sasha Banks, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, it's pretty much over. You better hope that MJF is resigned. Like, I think he is, but who knows? And he'll be a free agent in 11 days. Y'all better hope he's resigned. And I think this is, like, hopefully it's a learning lesson, and hopefully and not a death blow that I think it is. But unfortunately, who knows what this company would look like with smart minds like CM Punk and Jim Cornette, man. They are obviously, no matter what you think about their, like, the way they speak and how they speak and their actions and their past, they're smart people, you know. And sometimes you got to put business above feelings. And I think that's the reason why AEW is in the way they're I think that's why AEW is in the situation that they're in. They lean. You got to find that perfect balance at some point. You got to find that perfect balance of feelings and business. And when you lead too far towards feelings, you're going to mess up feelings and business. Like, AEW is not doing the best right now. It's the Continental Classic is all that they really have, because MJF his stock is slowly diminishing, if not diminished. You know, I think a lot of us does MJF even have that much equity, or do we just want him to have that equity? You know, I think he's great, but at the same time, you got to take away the CM Punk feud. If you take away the CM Punk feud, what has he done that's really been bulletproof where you say that was perfect? You know what I'm saying? And that was, like, he's only been, like, a main guy for about 2 years now. Because before the CM Punk feud, like, yes, was he a main player in AEW? Sure. But in a mainstream wrestling fan and just, like, somebody we look at when we think about wrestling, we think about MJF. Like, that feud put him on the map, and that was late 2021, early 2022. You know what I'm saying? So I think he needs to show that, you know, like, you can't just be on top for a year and start falling off. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I think, he's been on top for about a year and a half. That would be equivalent to John Cena in going, like, late 2006 going into early 2007. And don't get me wrong, fans were starting to turn on John Cena around that time. But then you got to think, he came out with a banger against Shawn Michaels and a great feud against Shawn Michaels, great feud against Umaga, and he was still putting out some of his greatest work. MJF is his character is diminishing. He's getting injured, so it's hurting his in-ring work. He's still amazing. Don't get me wrong, and I think he still has time to recover. And again, like I've said, I turned this into an MJF thing, but this is like. I turned this into an MJF thing. I'm sorry. But CM Punk, yeah, I think, man, it's just, it could have worked out so well. It could have worked out so well, man. And they could have, MJF would have learned so much from him. Dar B Allen would have been balanced out so much, because you got to think about, like, a Jeff Hardy or something like that. When you, like, obviously, you got to compare Dar B Allen to Jeff Hardy. You know, and they made Jeff Hardy work. Dar B Allen, I don't know how long he'll last under the current regime of Tony Khan, and, you know, and just them letting him do whatever he wants. Because I bring up Dar B Allen because he's a bright spot. MJF is a bright spot. I can't really name much else, you know what I'm saying? But these people are bright spots, and they need to be pushed that way, and they need to be brought up that way. And I think MJF, or I think a CM Punk and a Jim Cornette could do that. But Tony Khan, I don't think they know how to do that. I don't think a Kenny Omega knows how to do that. I don't think a Young Bucks know how to do that. I just don't. Maybe a Cody Rhodes would have, but these guys, I don't know, man. And I'm rambling at this point, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I am trying to hit 3,700 subs before the end of the week. Need about 89 more people to do so. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. I appreciate y'all so much. Have a good one. I hate to have to be under your bed, so hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. Sub the act. Peace.